Hi, it's me again, Vicky Marie, and How are you? How the devil are you? Anyway, hope you're all well. And I'm making this video that I will release. I'm trying to get some videos made that I can release to you over the weekend because, as you know, I'm still away from home. And I'm going back to Mickey's blog, which I know Mickey won't mind me doing this time. This is another blog that she did about the email of complaint that she sent to the Home Office pathologist. Now, let's have a look at it. I'm going to read it out to you, and then I want you, because I am going to send, Mickey invites us in this blog to send, to copy and paste this email and send it ourselves. I really think we have to do this because, you know, whenever we do videos, any YouTubers, any of us, if we do video talking about Nicola Bulley, it always gets so many views. So there's lots of people that are not happy about the way things were handled. But what my plea to you, I'm going to ask you to do something, which is send these emails that we're always saying, you know, email the coroner, email your MP, email the Prime Minister, write to them, do whatever. But, you know, it's not enough just to watch the videos and to make comments. You have to make some, you know, we have to let people know that we're not happy with this. For various reasons, you know, and if people say, oh, you know, the family have said, oh, nothing to see here, you know, move along. No, because we think there are issues of domestic violence here. There are issues of people blaming the menopause and alcoholism on a dead woman who can't defend herself. We don't like it. We don't like the way it's been dealt with and covered up. There are too many unanswered questions, and it should have been an open verdict. It should have been an open verdict. There was no way that conclusion could have been reached. Any other case that I've looked at with a similar thing where they can't establish how the person ended up in the water, the conclusion has been an open verdict. So why is this one? Because the family's lawyers instructed the coroner to find an accidental death verdict, even though there was no proof of accidental death. This is my whole point. No evidence of foul play? Maybe. No evidence of suicide? Maybe. No evidence of accidental death? Maybe. Where's the evidence of accidental death? Evidence. So if she would have fell in the water, this would have happened. If this would have happened, that would have happened. If, would. So that's my contention, and that's why I will not stop. Make it, you know, not just for the sake of it, just making videos whenever something's come up and keep some pressure going. I don't know if we can change, but I think if there's a lot of this, so this is what I'm saying. What will we, and I would, Mickey's calling on it in her thing, and I'm calling on you also to make your dissatisfaction felt. An email to the police, anyone, just to show, because the more people complain and the more people register that they're not happy, it's got to have some effect, even if it makes them think. Because I just think that coroner and the commissioner, the police commissioner, God, maybe if he got enough emails from people complaining, he won't be posting what he was eating and drinking on Twitter all the time. Anyway, so let's have a look. So this is the complaint that Mickey filed to the Home Office Forensic Pathology Unit regarding Nicola Bulley's autopsy. Now, what you've got to remember is as well, the forensic pathologist, that Alison Amor, which I'm going to do a video on when I get back, she has been called into question before with her results, you know, with her findings. So, yeah, I've looked into her quite a lot, and I'm burning to do a video about her, but I can't do it till I get home because I need the better computer to do it. Okay, so Mickey says, what date was it? I don't know if I can find a date, but anyway, whatever day it was, I think it was sometime last week. She said, I've sent the following as an email to the Home Office Forensic Pathology Unit this morning. Please feel free to copy and paste any of this info and send your own email. So please, so remember, you can go onto Mickey's site. The link will be in the description box of this video. You can go onto Mickey's site. You can subscribe to her blogs. It's completely free. And anyway, she's included this appendix, which, like, I don't really understand these scientific things. But anyway, so it's some sort of a non-drowning cases. So it's some sort of a graph about the decision-making algorithm. Oh, algorithm, I do hate that word. For the diagnosis of drowning. So this is something she's pulled together, and it's about proof of drowning, etc. So, and then the following was the email. I'm writing to establish a complaint regarding the autopsy findings of Nicola Bulley as presented at her inquest on June 26th and 27th of this year. The details provided by Miss Alison Armour at the inquest were, based on my extensive research on this case, insufficient to prove drowning. Related to Miss Bulley's case of death, I have conducted research on Fitbits, the type of wearable device Miss Bulley was found to be wearing on February the 19th, which is within my professional field. That research strongly suggests Miss Bulley was not in the water for several days or weeks prior to her body being located. So this is the conclusion that Mickey came to after that very good investigation she did into the Fitbit. That research strongly suggests Miss Bulley was not in the water for several days or weeks. Oh, sorry, I've just read that, prior to her body being located. Miss Bulley's model of Fitbit, due to its battery type, could only last about 1 or 2 days in 3.6 degrees Celsius river water, not 8 days as claimed at the inquest. The device also frequently records false heart rate spikes when it is off a person's body, and can also record false heart rate after a person has died but is not located in water. Based on the technology used to power the device, a lithium polymer battery, it is my educated belief that if the device was on land and possibly not on Miss Bulley's wrist until shortly before she was found, it simply would not function in water as long as was stated at the inquest. And another explanation for false heart rate spikes until February the 4th must be explored. It's interesting, isn't it? In conjunction with my findings on the Fitbit, am I serious concerned about the lack of thorough information provided about Miss Bulley's cause of death at the inquest? These two areas, I believe, are intrinsically linked in helping to establish how, when and where Miss Bulley died. I will now reference the Royal College of Pathologists' official documentation guidelines on autopsy practice, etc., 2018, and due to be updated again at the end of 2023, to delineate the many physical phenomena that must be examined closely due to their ability to be seen in non-drowning victims as well as drowning victims. Miss Armour described at the inquest the presence of flecks and fragments of dirt in Miss Bulley's throat, as well as water in and around her lungs. The RCOP's own documentation describes the frequency with which both these phenomena can be seen in non-drowning victims. Sediment is seen in the trachea and main bronchi of 46% of non-drowning cases. Fluid is seen in the trachea, main bronchi in 68% of non-drowning cases. The throat on its own is not referenced anywhere in the RCOP guidelines decision-making algorithm. Miss Armour did not mention to my knowledge the presence or absence of these features. Sediment in Miss Bulley's stomach or sinuses, frothy fluid in the trachea, fluid in the sinuses, fluid in the mastoid cells, gastric distension, ground glass opacity. Now, there's something I would add there is I don't think the bruises were explained properly. You know, she had bruises and a huge L-shaped bruise on her leg, and she had bruising on her arms, on her upper arms. We've seen photos. I've got a couple of photos of her with bruising on her arm, as if somebody had grabbed her arm. So, but those things were not explained. They were mentioned, but they were not explained. How a dead person gets those bruises. So that's another thing I would add to that. And the thing that let me just finish it off and then I'll explain to you. All of these are, according to the RCOP, crucial aspects of the autopsy process for bodies found in water. Death by drowning is one of the most difficult causes of death to prove. This is widely acknowledged in the pathology community worldwide, and new techniques and research on the topic are frequently published in well-regarded journals. It's because this thing about asphyxia, because if you were with me when we were watching the inquest live, or getting the reports from the inquest live, that was another thing that made, I said in another video, there's so many things in this case that have actually made me gasp in amazement. I don't think I've ever known a case, I've looked inside, there's no case that I've ever watched, learned about, watched documentary about it. Nothing ever like this where I have literally taken a sharp intake of breath at some of the things that have been said. And one of them was when they first said it was asphyxia that she displayed there. There's too many things that make me, again, I just keep saying it's not just one thing, it's not just two things, it's not even just 5 things. It's bloody 20 things, 30 things, so many different. So, there's too much mystery for it to be a conspiracy theory. Too many anomalies. Anyway, further, there are standard tests that help to establish time and location of death that appear not to been performed on Miss Bulley, namely diatom testing to determine the type of sediment or fluid in her lungs and elsewhere, and fingernail testing, which is now commonly used in several countries to help establish an approximate time of death. Oh, that's interesting. I suppose, yeah, because your nails and your hair continue to grow after you die. Another thing, of course, would be to look under a fingernail, see if there was any DNA, because, that's a common thing that normally is tested now, isn't it? Because if somebody, especially if they are strangled, they quite often have DNA under the fingernails where they've tried to, they've scratched someone's eye, maybe. That's the first thing I thought when I saw Paul, when he had that bruise. And he also had marks around his neck. To be perfectly honest, there were 2 things that I thought. One was that sometimes, if someone's been strangled, they do tend to scratch the face or the neck of the person who's doing it while they can, before they go unconscious. So they quite often have DNA under their fingerprints from the person that's killed them. And the other thing, and it probably because of my own experience with my ex-partner, I wondered if he tried to do, if something had happened and then he tried to do, why did he have all these red marks around his neck? Had he tried to do something to himself? Because it's not as easy as you think doing stuff like that. But it just occurred to me, I don't know why it popped into my head, maybe from my own experiences. But straight away I thought there's something. Anyway, apparently not, because it was accidental death. So if these tests were conducted, so they may have been conducted, but the results were never shared at Miss Bulley's inquest. So even the inquest was secret, really, wasn't it? As part of my complaint, I am seeking further information that can either confirm or refute what I have outlined here, and I look forward to your reply. So That's her email that she's sent. It's fantastic. Comments. Now, obviously, that's a personal email from Mickey. When I send my email, I will have to alter that to say that some, you know, respected. What's the word I'm looking for? A respected acquaintance of mine or something like that. As but you know, I have to change it into the third person because I have. If Mickey's talking in the first person, I have conducted research. I'll be saying my friend or my colleague or whatever has conducted. So I'm going to change that email to suit sending as a third person email. And if you want that email for you to send and the address, you can get in touch with me. Vicki Marie Chats. Always remember it's Vicki with an I. Vicki Marie Chats at gmail.com, and I will send you the template of the email to send that will be in the third person rather than this one, because obviously it's Mickey's own email in the first person, and she's done these investigations, not me. So I'll be putting it into the third person and maybe adding a little bit to it of what I think, you know, just sort of tweaking it to personalize it. But it'll definitely be going and see if you know, you think of how many people have probably watched, you know, just on my channel, probably, you know, I don't know how many views altogether, but say a typical view of an average view of a video about something to do with Nicola Bulley would be at least 2,000 views. So that's just my channel. So some channel, and I'm just a small channel. So if you look at, I know some of them have had like 80,000 views, or so all those people. If all those people sent these emails, they would have to listen. So it's not enough just to watch the videos and make comments. You have to send emails to. I know a lot of people don't want to be, they want to be anonymous. They don't, and I understand that. I really do understand that. I think now you can just set up a Gmail account, you know, that's separate from your normal one, or and you know, be anonymous. But it's just the fact of sending the email, I think, is important. Okay, so that's that. So thank you, Mickey, and yeah, let's thank Mickey by going over, subscribing to her not channel. It's not a channel; it's a blog, and you know, I think the investigations she's doing are great. Okay, so thank you so much, and remember to always live and love wisely. And until I see you again. Oh, let me just go back. Hang on. Go on a full face to say goodbye, I think, rather than yes, it's the full face. It's me. Sorry about that, because you might not want to see my full face. But thank you so much. Thank you. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you for all of you that have become members or sent me super chats, etc. I really appreciate every bit of support that you send me on my channel. It means so much to me. So till I see you again, may your God always go with you. Take care. Bye.